Happy birthday, Tilton Cooper.
We're live, Dan. We're live.
Does that mean we're on?
Yeah, we're on. We're good.
All right.
There we are.
Well, do you want to do the introductions? I'm just the co-host here.
Well, I would like to hear you do the introduction since this is your first time.
Well, thank you. Hey, welcome to the Mauney Cast. I'm Katie Kaufman. Alongside me, all of you know him so well. Really, two-time PBR world champion bull rider, JB Mooney. And JB, I don't know how I signed up for this in Lexington, but here we are.
I signed you up for it.
Well, you didn't ask.
Yeah, I know.
It was almost like a voluntold situation.
Yeah.
But I've got my notes.
They did ask me, and I said, just put Katie on there.
Okay. Well, since you run the ship here, how does it go?
However we want it to.
Okay. How long does this last?
I'm gonna mess up all your notes.
Oh no, you know I live and die by these.
I know.
And I've got a lot of special notes just for you.
Yeah, this is not your normal show, though. It doesn't stay in order. It doesn't go as planned, and we say whatever we want to.
But I am a touch controlling when it comes to this. So you think that's not going to work tonight?
Good luck for you.
Okay, well, before we have all of our guests on, we have a great lineup tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And Lexington, Kentucky is a place that, well, everyone knows you very, very well. I walked in with you to the arena tonight, and the autograph line has already formed. We got in here about 6:30, and I'm sure JB has fans all over this country, but Lexington really is like no other.
Yeah, you get closer to the East Coast, and they really come alive.
Yes, and this was like this last year, too. Do you enjoy coming to this part of the country?
Oh, I do. It makes you feel good. It lets me know I did something right riding bulls.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about bull riding, I know that obviously that career is now, in the rear view mirror, and it's hard to talk about that. But speaking of that and your mentality when you rode bulls compared to the bull riders you see today, you're a tough critic. What is the difference from your mentality to what you see in the arena today?
Well, today what I see is, guys are willing to go and sit at home, and it's a double-edged sword. Whether you go home and take care of yourself and try to heal up, or whether you try to fight through it and continue. And I always had it in my head. I've told the guys on the team that I coach, I've told them, I said I was no tougher than anyone else. I just believed I was, and I tried to show it. If I could get up and walk, I was getting on. So, it just, some guys don't, and that's all above your shoulders. Whatever you tell yourself you can do, you can do it.
You could do it. Well, hey, I think they're taking in the opening ceremonies now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think we'll stand up here in Lexington and go to the arena here quickly.
Ask here tonight, how many proud Americans are inside of this all-tech arena?
Tonight to present to you our Pledge of Allegiance, Mr. Cree Cruz.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight, as we continue to honor America, we welcome to the arena floor to perform our national anthem. Please make welcome Miss Hannah Wheeler.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs burst still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Bringing our national anthem here inside the Alltech Arena tonight. And with that being
As
said,
we get back into the Mauney Cast in Lexington, Kentucky, you know, JB, we were talking, we've got a great group of guests who are going to be lined up here today. But before we get to them, I just want to continue on a little bit with your mentality when you were a bull rider, and so many bull riders who we're going to see compete tonight still look up to you in so many respects. So many of them call you, a lot of them called you after the NFR and said, hey, I got to get to Bucktown, I need your help. But so many call you the GOAT in pro rodeo or, you know, in the bull riding industry over at the PBR. And I know that that means something to you, but you just want to be known as a great cowboy. What is the definition and the reasoning behind that?
I've seen a lot of guys that were good bull riders but weren't cowboys, and I always told them that I would rather be known as a cowboy than a bull rider any day. You know, I rode bucking horses in high school, roped calves, I steer wrestled, but I wasn't built for it, and team ropes. So I did a little bit of everything, and I think it all goes together. You know, when I was at home, if I wasn't getting on practice bulls, I was riding horses. I was, you know, I had working dogs. I was catching wild cows that got out. I was always horseback doing something, and the closest thing to a bull, other than getting on bulls, is a horse. It works on your legs, and so I think it all goes together. And you know, I've told a lot of guys that if they want to be a better bull rider, learn how to work around bulls. Go get a job at the sale barn. You know, learn how to read those animals, because if you're not scared of them on the ground, you're dang sure not scared of them on their back.
What is the future for you?
Just working bulls. I got 25, 30 head of bulls turned out there right now, and I sent 6 bulls last night to the PBR at Fort Worth, the stockyards, and it's just, that's all we do, work bulls every day.
Well, and speaking of your future, obviously you have a beautiful family. Samantha's your wife, and Jagger, we just celebrated his 6th birthday yesterday in Fort Worth, and Jagger has his own fan base, you know that,
oh, yeah.
And he signs plenty of autographs himself. So when you think about Jagger, what is the future for Jagger in terms of his career, maybe in this industry? Are you pushing for that?
Whatever he wants to do. I figure it'll be something to do with rodeo. He says he wants to be an all-around cowboy, all-around champion. You know, he says he's going to rope, ride bucking horses, do it all. And he gets on calves now. He rides his pony. He, you know, everybody said, oh, that's the next bull rider, next bull rider. It makes no difference to me. You know, if he doesn't want to ride bulls, completely fine with me. If he wants to ride bulls, I'll help him every way I know. But, you know, the good thing about living in Stephenville, no matter what event he chooses, there's always somebody right around there that can do it and can help him. So I just let him go on his own. Whenever he says he wants to ride his calves, we load his calves. And I don't push it on him.
Did you have anyone in your family really pushing you to ride bulls?
No, they did not want me riding bulls. They were completely against it, and the man that pretty much taught me how to ride bulls, he's Matt Merritt's father-in-law, Mike White's father-in-law. I grew up with him. He rode bulls, and he told my mother that if she didn't let me go ahead and ride, I was going to sneak off and do it. So they started letting me, and eventually they got used to it, I guess.
Yeah, well, I know that everyone loved watching you across the country and the career that you had. We're going to bring in now one of your good friends.
Oh, yeah.
And competitors who we're going to see in the arena tonight in Lexington. This is NFR qualifier, Dustin Boquet. Dustin, hey, thanks for coming on.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
Oh, was that your line? I forgot.
No.
I'm just the co-host.
No,
Sorry about that.
You can say that.
Oh, okay, great.
I'll ask him the important questions.
Oh, really?
Been fishing?
Yeah, I went yesterday. Didn't catch a damn thing.
Nothing?
No.
Getting rusty?
I guess I ain't done it.
Well, it isn't. Well, it's a little chillier down there.
Yeah, it's too cold for fishing. Hunting, I'm all right with it. But now that hunting season's over, the cold can go away. Back to spring.
Well, you're living in East Texas now, not
Yeah, it's still cold.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's still cold. but-
Still 20 to something degrees.
Well, I mean, they were snowboarding in Louisiana, though.
They was. And doing donuts and airboats.
Yeah.
The weather has been so crazy. I saw that they were playing, I think, ice hockey down Canal Street. It's just unbelievable.
We got 10 inches of snow where I'm back home with where the family lives.
When's the last time that ever happened?
They said 18 something.
Wow. Well, I know that you've probably already hit the rodeo road after the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. That's the last place I saw you. You were able to sneak in there, and I know you had some tough luck over those 10 days. What was going on, and how are you changing your mindset going into 2025?
It is what it is. Bradley Harder told me, he said, if you make it enough, you're going to have some good ones, you're going to have some bad ones. And it made me really open my eyes, and I guess turning 30 years old, it don't come as easy as what it used to. So we went back to the drawing board and been working at it a little bit more and feeling good. Went to Odessa. Is the only place I've been so far this year. And, they got me for 7-9 for pulling my tail, so we ain't going to do that tonight.
Okay, well, we're going to be watching you.
Yeah. 30, huh?
30.
Don't worry, it gets worse.
I was just going to say, you know what? I am the oldest on this telecast, so you all need to respect your elders, especially you, JB.
Yeah, I don't believe that's going to happen.
You know, speaking of tough luck at the NFR this past December, you've also had a lot of really great rides, and 90 points you were on Hot Rocks at the Missoula Stampede. That probably had to feel pretty good.
Yeah, we wasn't riding crap before that, and when I seen him next to my name, I said, here we go, we're going to turn this sucker around, and shoot, I think I went on to win probably 40,000 from there to Pendleton just in the month of September. It shot me to 16th in the world to make another NFR.
That's bull riding.
That's bull riding.
When it's on, it's on. When it's off, and it only takes one to flip it back on.
That's it.
JB, when you look back at some of the last years you rode, what are some big rides that stick out to you?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Heck, when I broke my neck, I was hanging around 15th. That's why I kept going. And actually, like the surgeon, he told Samantha when she got to Lewiston and everything was talking to him, he said, we did a full body x-ray on him when he came in, and his left leg, his left foot, and his right ankle are broken. She said, yeah, he knew that when he got here. And he's like, well, what was he doing? And she said, well, he was sitting 15th. He was not going to stop. So, like I felt like I was still, older than everybody else, had some age on me, and I've been beat up, but I felt like mentally and, not really physically, but I felt like I was riding just as good as I ever had and landed the wrong way, and that was it.
Gosh, you want to talk about determination. Dustin, I know that you've watched JB's entire career. If you can look back, or maybe there's something that sticks out, what do you admire about JB's career?
One of my favorite bull rides that he's ever had is Percolator. That was pretty fun. If anybody knows who that bull was action. And what the heck, how many was you, 93, 92?
I don't know.
Something like that.
High mark right to the finals.
Here's one of our good friends, Richie Champion. We saw him in Vegas, didn't have any luck. Here he is in Lexington, JB.
Making a good ride.
I think he's going to come on the show here in a bit. Gosh, I hope that's
how
enough.
you do it right there.
Yeah,
hope
that's
it's
good
enough.
ride. Did you ever get on any bareback horses?
No.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah.
In high school, right?
Yeah, a couple years. My last one was in 2014.
Really?
I cracked out of retirement.
For what?
I was picking up a bunch of rodeos around the house during the summer.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was waiting on you to crack out retirement. Everybody else is for this sucker.
No.
Well, Vegas.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's true. One thing led to another, and some boys called me out on it, said, show us how you do it. I said, all right. So I did. I cracked out 1 second, went right back into retirement.
So you didn't make the 8 seconds, or did you?
Oh, yeah. I won second.
Oh, you won second. I thought you said you stayed on for 1 second.
No, I won second.
Oh, okay. So you showed him how it was done.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Where'd you ride Percolator?
I rode him at the PBR finals the first time, and then I had him in Biloxi, Mississippi was the second time I rode him.
Okay. Dustin, before we let you go, I know you got to get focused. First of all, what do you have drawn tonight, and are you hopeful for a good score?
Yeah, I got a pretty good one. Young Bull Frontiers. I watched one video of him, and pretty showy. I think he's got a bright future for him, really. And I think I could be a bunch of points on him, so might as well go do it and have some fun.
All right, I've got a couple of quick questions here, being that you're a Cajun from Louisiana. Crawfish boil or gumbo?
Crawfish boil.
Me too. So full disclosure, I'm from California, but I moved to Texas as quick as I could. I've been there 15 years. The first weekend I lived in Texas, I went to a crawfish boil. Best time of my life.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is the best, and the spicier, the better for me.
Yeah, I can, I do it probably every other weekend when it's during crawfish season.
During the season? All right.
That's why it's better crawfish than gumbo. I can do gumbo any time of year.
Great point. What's more dangerous, riding a bull or eating something too hot in Louisiana?
Oh. There's some pretty hot stuff down there. They used to have at our high school finals, they used to have a hot sauce, and you had to sign a waiver to try it. And all he would do was stick a toothpick in it and give it to you. And then he would sell you milk, a glass of milk for $1, and you would buy it because it took the spice away. And he would make so much money just by selling milk.
Did you do it?
No. Okay. If you got to sign a waiver for it, you know that crap's hot.
Yeah. Do you like spicy food, JB?
No.
Okay. I love hot food, but I don't think I can do that hot.
I do eat crawfish, though.
Yeah, I like crawfish, too.
Oh, you lost your notes.
Oh, no, I've lost my notes.
The show's gone.
Oh,
it's done. It's
JB,
over.
take over. I asked you for a Mauney Cast clipboard. How hard is that? I need a clipboard.
Well, see, I keep all my notes up here.
Okay. Hang on, we got to keep going. Dustin, if you had to teach someone from up north how to speak like a true Cajun, what is the first phrase they need to learn?
Couillon.
And what does that mean?
Dumbass.
Okay. We can say that here on the Mooney Cast, can't we?
Yeah.
Are you calling me that, or are you just saying that's what you call a lot of people?
I'm saying there's a handful of them out there.
Okay. Remember,
so
I'm older than you. I'm older than you.
See, they wouldn't let me call you what I wanted to call you.
What you want to call me?
What do you call people from Louisiana?
Coonasses.
See, they told me I couldn't do that.
All right, last question. What's the wildest thing you've ever seen happen in the bayou, and did it involve a gator?
Some pretty wild stuff. Biggest gator I've been a part of catching was 11 foot 2 inches.
You're kidding me.
No, he was a big old rascal.
So are they hard to come by, or can you just?
No.
Okay.
We got a bunch of them, and I wish they would probably give more tags than what they actually give people down there, because they do need to do some work on them. I haven't been down there, and I've been going from down there for 9 years, and last time I was home, it was you hit a spotlight at nighttime frogging or something, and all you see is red eyes. I mean, there's a bunch of gators.
Would you go gator hunting?
Well, I've caught gators and stuff, but the first time I ever went wakeboarding was in Louisiana at T-Birds, Trent Amadeus.
Oh, yeah.
And there was gators laying on the bank. You talk about some incentive to learn how to stay up on that board.
I was tubing one time behind a boat, and he was spinning us around like they always do. And we had that tube about to flip it, and he pointed at it, and this sucker was big. Still probably one of the biggest gators I've seen. And I put that tube back, and I said, "Bring me back to I'm good with this."
That's all I could think about. Every time I wrecked and I was waiting for him to come back and get me with the boat, was a gator coming up. And he's like, "Oh, they won't mess with you."
On the knee boards, we'll run over the top of their heads, and
they would. Trent and them would do it on a wakeboard.
I wasn't doing a wakeboard.
They
I'm not
was
that good
swinging
on
out there, jumping their heads and stuff. I was like,
You couldn't pay me $1 million to sit in a boat with all those gators sitting on the edge like that.
I was on a board behind the boat.
Yeah, I know, but
I did learn how to ride it really fast.
They only bite you once.
Thank you. Right. Yeah. Hey, before we let you go, speaking of gators, there's a gator in Happy Gilmore. I know that's one of your favorite movies. The sequel's just finished. Do you have any great movie quotes from that movie you love?
I'm not very good at quoting movies. I just remember watching them.
Yeah,
just tap it in.
Just tap it in. That is a good one.
Tap
That
it in.
is a good one.
All right, Dustin. Well, I know you've got to get back behind the chutes and get ready. Thanks for stopping by.
No problem.
Stay on. Pays better.
It does. A lot funner, too.
Yeah.
All right, JB, how's it going so far? Am I doing okay at the co-hosting?
Yeah, man, it's decent.
Okay. Well, I'm worried about my notes on the ground, but I'm just going to have to let it ride. Who do we have next coming on?
Look at them laying around. Oh, Brandon Cullens.
Here we are. Hey, Brandon.
The $1 million man.
The $1 million man.
Oh, wow. Jagger's getting wound up over there on some ice cream.
Yeah, he found it earlier. took Samantha over there to get some.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Brandon, you are a star when it comes to the American, and I know you're great friends of JB and Samantha's as well as Jaggers. And last year, you held that $1 million checkup. I know you've won a lot. You're one of the greatest barrel racing trainers in the country, but what was that moment like for you?
I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, that's a lot of money. I mean, especially one time. And I mean, I've been trying to do this for, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 8 years probably. And finally getting it done, that was a big part of it too. And then being able to win the whole $1 million at once is even better.
I liked all the haters.
Yeah.
That just gave me a reason to get on there and talk shit.
Yeah. There was a few of them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they were, and JB put them all right in their place. So you were the one really laughing all the way to the bank, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to change anything I do.
Yeah. You're here through the redemption round. So who are you riding here in Lexington?
The same one that's
Seeger.
Seeger's Fast Lane.
Okay. Tell us just a little bit more about the pedigree of this horse and why they're so special.
She's a goodbye lane, and she's out of Diamond Fawcett mare, which is kind of like old school Utah stuff. But that mother's produced a lot of good horses also. And goodbye lane, he didn't really get a shot till he was older. I won't lie. They had the people Jarvises that own him. They put this futurity on in Utah, and if you were in like the top 5 or 10, they would give breedings away to different studs, and he was in there every year. And the years I was in the top 5 or 10, I kind of walked right by him. I never knew much about him, and now I have like 15 of them. I'd like to say I knew from the start, but I didn't.
When we look at rodeo, did you ever compete in any other events, or have you always stuck to barrel racing?
Just barrel racing. When I started riding horses and stuff, I thought I wanted to roast and stuff. And I was in Maryland and nobody did. And then I found somebody that ran barrels. I was like, oh, I like this. And then once I got really into it and then got into the futurity side of it, that's all I ever did. And
I did get to go to Brandon's when he lived in Maryland. You remember Field of Dreams?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how it was. He had a barn, an arena, and corn all the way around it.
If you ran past the first barrel, you were in the cornfield.
If you build it, they will come.
They did. He did.
Yeah.
He did.
I went up there. I tore my shoulder up. Samantha wanted to go up there and ride some of them horses that he was riding for. I was like, whatever. I can't do anything. So we went up there, and that's what we did.
Well, speaking of all these horses you have for sale, I'm so glad that you came on the show. So Samantha's birthday is not too far away. So I don't know, is there maybe a horse that Samantha needs, JB?
No, there's not.
I think there might be.
Samantha does a good job on her own of collecting horses, so we'll just leave it like that.
Yeah, we have a few of them at our house right now.
Well, if there's ever another one, I'm just here to help that.
The few that are not at his house are standing in my bullpens, where my bulls should be.
Okay. Well, keep that in the back of your mind, Brandon. Her birthday's in March. So you were newly married in 2024, so that $1 million had to help a little bit with that, huh?
Yeah, actually, the first thing we bought, the wedding was like 3 weeks after the American. The first thing we bought was weight rings because, well, we stayed pretty broke, but it helped.
Anything else you bought that was fun?
A hot tub. Bought the rings. Went Monday, bought the rings, and left from the jewelry place and bought a hot tub, and that's about it.
That's the only wedding I've ever been to.
I was going to say, yeah, talk about the wedding. Where was it?
Lipan, Texas.
Yeah, it was in Lipan.
Okay, so close to the house for you.
Yeah. I remember the drive there, but not the drive back.
Probably like a lot of guests. Was it a good time?
I had a great time. I don't know if anybody else did.
It was a great time, I think.
Oh, gosh. Okay. I have some questions about Seeger. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. This is your show.
I was just going to say, from the pictures that people have sent me, it looked like I was having a good time.
You have a good time? No way.
Yeah.
When you guys came up there, do you remember going to that little bar?
There we are.
Dan's got a photo. At one point that night, I had that helmet on.
Yeah, what is the helmet, Brandon?
Well, I think Samantha wouldn't let it go, and the only way they talked her out of it was to give it to me.
Yeah, Samantha did have it on, which that was probably pretty good. She needs a helmet occasionally. And I ended up with it on, and he had it on.
Never
Those
can
pitchers
be
kept
safe.
getting better and better.
So, since Samantha got brought back up, I forgot to ask, do we think she's going to run barrels again? Like, are we going to see her at the NFR again?
I don't know. She's been riding every day here lately.
Brandon, what if you had to bet on it, would we see her at the NFR again?
You can't guess on Samantha.
I know.
If she wants to, she will.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, get your checkbook out and let's start buying some more horses.
She has them.
If only she had some ears in right now and knew that we were talking about this.
She'd be pissed.
No.
At me, not y'all.
I know, that's right. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to ask you some fun questions for Seeger. Sound good? If Seeger had a theme song, what would it be?
I'm bad at that. I don't know.
Life in the Fast Lane?
Probably.
Okay.
She thinks she's the best there ever was, and she thought that from day one.
But you know what? Don't you think that's what sets her apart?
Oh, 100%.
How old did you say she was?
I think she's 8 now.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure she's 8.
If all of this goes as planned, will you ride her again in Globe Life?
From here, yeah.
Yeah.
If
it all works out. Okay. If Seeger was a human, what job would she have? CEO, rock star, something else?
Probably more to the rock star.
Love it.
Yeah.
What's one thing she absolutely hates?
Standing still.
Okay, well that's original.
Reminds me a lot of Samantha.
Yeah.
Who's more high maintenance, you or Seeger?
I mean, I don't think either one of us.
Really?
Yeah. No,
Okay,
she's
she
easy.
kind of goes with the flow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's really easy.
Do you have any questions? Where are your notes?
They're in my head.
Okay, you have the floor.
What?
Do you want to ask him another question
I don't
about
know.
Seeger? I'll keep going. If Seeger had only one luxury item, anything in the world, what would she want?
Food, like she eats like hell. Like,
I love it. Maybe like an all-you-can-eat buffet.
no, yeah, she'd be all over Golden Corral.
That's awesome.
I don't have any questions about barrel horses. Samantha, she tells me a lot. I should know every
You
horse.
should know everything.
She'll see a horse and she was like, such and such made the NFR on the sire to that horse in 1981 and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, how do you remember this? Like all this.
Right, but that's just how you are with bulls. You see a bull one time, you can tell it's trip, can't you?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
But if I could ever get her swapped over to the bull pedigrees,
stop.
man, I'd be doing good.
No. Brandon, what got you into training barrel horses?
I didn't want a real job.
Well, you've been pretty successful at this. Why do you think you've been so successful?
I don't know. It's all I wanted to do once I started doing it. And it's like, I like winning. Winning's fun. And then I got to training, and I like training them. And I don't know, it just kind of worked out. I lost for a long time. I mean, it took a long time to win.
Well, I feel like your name's always at the top of the leaderboard now, so you must be doing something right.
Yeah, right until it wasn't.
When did you move from the East Coast to Texas, and why did you make that move?
I think it was 21. We went. It's so much. I love Maryland. Like, I love it there. But for horses and opportunities and just getting to the fraternities and stuff like that, it'd take me 2 days to get out to Oklahoma City. So there's just way more horses here, way more opportunity, and that's why it brought me out here.
And Samantha actually found the place for them.
Oh, perfect.
For years I would rent, like I rented in Georgia and Unadilla at Bob Hamilton's place for 3 or 4 years before then I started renting out in Texas. And then I was renting at this one place in Texas, and it was kind of a shit show. And I was just so frustrated. And I told her, I was like, I'm either quitting or I'm going to buy a place out here. I'm just tired of it. And then I was on the phone with Samantha, just kind of bitching at me, and Emily were in the truck talking. And like 2 or 3 hours later, she calls me, and she's like, hey, I found a place. She had stopped at someone that like does her hair, I think, and was talking to that woman. Well, the woman that was sitting in the chair getting her hair done said, well, we're about to put our place on the market, and gave Samantha the address, and Samantha drove by it and just like videoed it and then sent it to me. And I said, well, we'll go look at it. And we went and looked, and ended up buying it.
There you are.
Yeah, all you have to do is mention something to Samantha.
She loves spending money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we went to Sephora just a couple weeks ago when we were in Vegas. We were there 2 hours.
Yeah, I know.
And I didn't need anything at Sephora, and I left spending way too much money because she's a bad influence. But I love it. Speaking of, well, I guess being here in Lexington and the American, what do you like about this American format, the qualifiers, you know, having the ability to come here, come back in the redemption round, you know, you got your spot, we'll see you tomorrow night. Hopefully, you know, you end up in the top 5 to punch your ticket to Globe Life. Do you like the competitive format that this has?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it works out pretty well. Like it lets kind of all kinds of horses come in, like ones that are good at the average, like that'll make 2 solid runs every time, and then the ones that are kind of freaks and will really clock, but you're not sure if it'll happen every time. So let both in. And then with the region deals, I kind of like that because you don't have to travel as far. You can kind of, I don't know, I think it sets it up a little better, which it worked out for us because, like, I don't know, it's a weird deal that why we're here in Lexington and not Tulsa. It's me and Siri Ward both qualified already in the central region. Well, then we found out there's the Royal Crown Futurities overtop Tulsa, and I didn't realize that when I entered the qualifiers. So I wouldn't be able to do both, and like that's how I make my living is through the futurities.
Understood.
So then we found out we had to come here. Well, we had to switch horses. You can't qualify twice on the same horse. So me and Siri swapped horses and ran at a qualifier in Memphis, and both of us made it back. And then Siri made it back in the average, and I got back in the buyback. So hopefully we both get to go to Dallas too. But I think I like that where there's more options. Where if it was just one place, it would kind of messed us up for that. We would have had to choose one or the other. So.
That's like a lot of the rough stock guys. They enter all 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and if they move on, then they just quit. You know, they quit going. But then they got, you know, don't do good in Vegas, come here. Don't do good here, then Tulsa's your last shot.
Yeah, you got some opportunities.
Well, I know that the rodeo's going on. We've been having such great conversation. I haven't been paying too close attention, but I think Richie Champion, at least in the beer bag, I think he was in the top there. So I'm excited to see Richie, and hopefully it'll put him in good position for tomorrow night. And now we're in saddle bronc riding. Court Shearer, that's a name that you know well in pro rodeo.
Oh yeah, Court. He doesn't live too far from me. He comes and helps the college kids. And Samantha and Jagger were over there riding the other day at the college arena, and he was over there. Said he was coming here. I don't know if he's been traveling a whole lot, but.
I'm not sure either, but
$1 million makes a lot of people.
I was just gonna say
come
we
out of
saw
retirement.
Casey Field in Vegas. We saw Luke Branquino. Maybe some others.
If I could figure out the dismount part, I'd probably crack back out.
I'm sure you would. I don't think your doctors would appreciate that at all.
Samantha would be the hard one to get by.
Yeah, good point. Let's see here.
Oh, that's a wild start. Court's pretty cowboy too. Like he couldn't get rolling on that horse. That's a bad start.
Timing, yeah. What do you think they're gonna do? Does that even?
I have
guess
no
give you
idea.
the option for a rewrite or probably not? I don't know. If he was fouled out of the chute.
They free rolled him because the horse was doing that, but I don't know. Bronc riding's a little different than the bull riding. Not real sure. If it was me, I'd give him a reride, but that's why I don't judge. I just sit up here.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to take just a quick break here. We'll be back with the Mauney Cast live in Lexington, Kentucky here at the Eastern Regionals in just a moment.
Catch with our backs against the wall. Maybe I'm reckless, maybe I play the fool. Come hell or high water, baby, I think I want you. Someday, you'll come running, somehow, you'll see I'll be longing, I'm free. Come hell or high water, I'm gonna make you love me. Come hell or high water, I'm gonna make you love me. Love me. Love me.
Get ready for the richest weekend in rodeo. The American Rodeo returns to Arlington, Texas, April 11th and 12th, 2025. With performances by country music artists Riley Green and Bailey Zimmerman. See the biggest names in rodeo go head-to-head versus rising stars, all for a shot at a life-changing $1 million. Get your tickets now at AmericanRodeo.com and join us April 11th and 12th at Globe Life Field. The American Rodeo, where legends are made.
If you haven't downloaded the Cowboy Channel Plus app yet, now is the best time. Cowboy Channel Plus is your gateway into the best of Western sports and all up-to-date industry news. Check out our new free live rodeo of the day. We'll be streaming select live rodeo performances absolutely free. Find us in all major app stores or go to cowboychannelplus.com and start your journey into the world of Western sports.
Well, welcome back to the Mooney Cast. I'm JB's co-host, Katie Kaufman, and really it's no surprise that when we go on break that JB just steps out of the arena for a quick smoke break, and here we are, we're live, and JB's still not here, even though he prides himself on always smoking a cigarette quick. No surprise. I'm so happy to have our dear friend, the first ever American champion, Richie Champion. You just saw him in the bareback riding. Richie, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I actually saw JB on my walk up here, and he dropped a cigarette, so that might add some time to the deal.
Okay, yeah. There was a foul
yes.
as he was leaving. Well, we just had Brandon Cullens on, and now here's JB. Yeah, welcome back into your own show, buddy. Come on in. Have a seat. Take your time.
By all means, JB.
Richie and I are just, we're just here carrying your show. There we go. Well, Richie, we just had Brandon Cullens on, and you know that he won the $1 million last year inside Globe Life Field, and you know better than anyone how life-changing that money is. But we talk about you and your success at the American a lot, and especially at these events. Does that add any extra pressure to you?
No, I think ever since it happened, it's always the first topic of conversation, and it keeps me remembering that moment and what it's done for me, and makes me hungry to come back every year.
Well, I know you did very well here at the Eastern Regionals. How did you like your horse, and are you hopeful that it'll punch your ticket for tomorrow night headed to Globe Life with fingers crossed?
Yeah, that was a witchy woman of championships, and she's been around a long time, but she's really kind of scary in the sense of she's always going to do something before you leave, whether it's jump down the gate or rear up and kind of smash you a little bit, roll around the post. So she kind of gets you amped up for that. But other than that, she's a really nice horse to ride, and it went exactly how I pictured it, and to win the long round and be heading tomorrow, yeah, I like my odds.
Did she do that to you in the chute tonight?
She just jumped down the gate, so we got out pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I've watched your career since it got started in pro rodeo, and you're a fierce competitor. You've won many great rodeos. We've seen you at the NFR a bunch. Obviously, coming away the $1 million winner at the first ever American. But you didn't grow up in rodeo, and I always love sharing your story. So walk us through how you grew up and then what got you into rodeo.
My parents were in the hotel business, so really nothing to do with rodeo till I was probably 7th grade. I don't know what that is, 13. And JB was pretty good at riding bulls, and so I was like, man, I should do that. And that lasted about 3 years of me falling off bulls.
I didn't know you started bull riding. Okay.
Yeah, broke my leg right off the bat, which I shouldn't have came back. I should have just took it for what it was then. But high school rodeoed, and then my senior year, I fell off a bull somewhere, and I was like, there's got to be something else. Like, I am so bad at this. And got on a bareback the next day, and that was 4 years before the American.
That's what I was opposite. When I rode bareback horses, it hurt so bad whether I did it right or wrong. And I was like, man, there's got to be something that feels better than this.
I don't know. I think the fact that I was actually hearing the whistle at 8 seconds kind of discarded any pain. The success felt better.
That is true. It all feels better when you hear the whistle, but in the bareback ride, it still hurt.
Yeah, I just don't like those things chasing me. That was the thing, is like 4 seconds until I realized I was riding a bull. I was doing great, and then I was trying to find a way off.
Your success came so quick after you switched over into bareback riding. 4 years, and then you're at the American and you go away the champion. I know that you had a lot of mentors and guys you looked up to. Did you start by traveling with Casey Field?
I traveled with actually Taylor Price, who won the American the next year. Me and Taylor and Bill Tudor traveled together a lot, but we were kind of always stopping in at Casey, so Casey's always kind of had an influence on me. And then 2014 or 15, I started going with Casey pretty full time, and you learned a lot from that guy.
I was just going to say, what's it like? Every time I'm around Casey, you know, he just has such a positive energy, and I'm sure that's infectious.
Yeah, 100%. He's charismatic. He's constantly showing you what you want to be. That's what I always got from being around him, and it was pretty fun last week to be back behind the bucket chutes with him, you know, another time. So now I'm really a little more reason to go qualify for this deal, you know, another big rodeo with the champ.
When we were in Vegas, and obviously JB and Richie, you were there. You even helped us in the booth one night. Thank you for that, because Casey was down behind the bucking chutes. But for you, as being still a current competitor, and so many of your friends and mentors, you know, have hung it up and they've retired, to see what this rodeo, especially what this $1 million can do, isn't that unique to this sport?
Yeah, it's insane. I sent Paige a picture when she asked, you know, how the locker room was, and it's just Court Shear and Tilden Hooper. I was like, just the old boys club in here tonight. But I haven't seen those guys together, been in the locker room with them in years, like at the same time, you know. So yeah, the money's, you know, obviously draws people out, but it is just such a good opportunity for, I mean, not that many rides, and you could be really changing your entire life for the money that's here. And it's nice horses and get up, you know, just fun all the way around. Everybody's excited.
Yeah. I think that we have another member of our crew down, and they've maybe met up with Tilden Hooper. Do we have that, Dan?
Nope, there's Tilden.
Hey, Tilden, we're talking about you up here, and I guess, I don't know, Richie said you're kind of with the old guys in the locker room.
Yeah, I've got a headset in. I heard that. Courts look quite a bit older than me.
Well, Tilden, how's the Eastern Regionals treating you, and why are you here?
I'm here for a chance to win $1 million. I think it's going pretty good. Nice horse. It's pretty fun. Like Richie said, you know, this deal is awesome. You get a few shots at a few pretty nice horses, and then next thing you know, you're in Arlington getting on the best horses against the best guys for $1 million.
I know, Tilden, that you've been on the biggest stages in pro rodeo. Truly, what is it like being on the back of the bucking chutes inside Globe Life Field and AT&T Stadium?
It's hard to compare it to anything else because there's just nowhere else where you go that you have a chance at that much money in one day. You know, I mean, the National Finals Rodeo is our top deal, obviously, and there's a lot of money to be made out there. But at the American, you're standing there with a chance to change your life, exactly like Richie said, and it's unlike anywhere else.
Crazy that you can go all year long, and our goal is always to make the national finals. But you got to put in so much time, so much money. You get on. I mean, the risk is the same every time, whether it's a practice pin or at the NFR or here. So basically, risk and reward. There's nothing that tops this.
It'd been better if they wouldn't have loaded Richie tonight, not a won first.
You got to go last, whatever.
Well, you know, they had to give Dickman a few extra points.
Oh, here we
After
are.
what I had to do last
that
week,
didn't take long.
All right, Tilden. Hey, thanks for coming on the Mauney Cast. We appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Thanks for having me.
You know, with Tilden there and Richie and, of course, JB and Richie and Tilden, well, you're newer dads, and now you're pro rodeoing as a dad. And Forrest, I think you said, is about 18 months?
Yep.
I can't believe it's gone by so fast. I'm sure.
It's crazy.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how has that transition been?
Last year I bought a motorhome because I really didn't want to miss out on anything if I could help it. So, you know, I'd seen JB do it in his last years, and it looked like a fun way to go. He didn't tell me that, like, you really don't get any sleep when you have a little one with you. But Paige, I mean, I feel like me and Paige are such a good team, and we made it work. We learned a lot, and of course, do all that, take them 20,000 miles around the country, and I'm on the bubble flying to Indiana, and I land and I get a video of him taking his first step. So the little sucker couldn't wait for me. But
Oh, that's so tough. Yeah, JB, you did it too with Jagger. What is it like?
Yeah, we were going to PBRs and, you know, fly in, fly out, fly home, and that was fine. But, you know, I told Samantha I decided I was going to go rodeo, and I told her I bought my card back. It'd been 10 years since I had my PRCA card, so I bought it back. I didn't tell her I'd bought it back. I just told her, hey, I'm going to start rodeoing. And she said, okay. And I said, if you and Jagger want to go with me, we better buy an RV, because I'm not making him fly, getting rental cars and doing all that. And she said, all right, how long do I have? I said, about 2 weeks. So we literally went and bought a motorhome, and when we went to pick it up in Alvarado, we packed everything out of the car into the motorhome and left from there and drove to North Dakota.
We're watching the replay here of Lefty Holman. He's going to be on the show here in a bit. And you know what? He's got those flashy white boots. What do you think, Richie?
Yeah, classic Lefty Holman there. He was pretty excited. We talked about it yesterday. He said it was a really nice horse. And sure enough, that should be good enough to get him another
80
one.
3/4 for tomorrow?
You bet.
That's a good ride.
And it's a clean slate tomorrow, right? No average?
I think so.
So
What? I missed it.
Clean slate.
No
tomorrow.
average tomorrow, just top scorers advance.
Right, correct.
So that's
Well, what I like to do when it comes down to that, Dan, is it a clean slate tomorrow?
Always put Dan on the spot.
He thinks
He
so.
thinks
But
so.
he will lie to you. He told me I had 5 minutes to go smoke, and I did not have
you
5
did not,
minutes.
Indeed.
Poor Dan. So if you had to answer, Richie, if parenting or bareback riding is harder, which one is it?
Parenting for sure.
Oh, parenting is
It's
tough.
I told Paige today, I was like, it's so weird because, like, when you're home, and you guys know how it is, it's like your days are full whether you want them to be or not. It's go, go, go until they go to bed. And then you jump on a plane and you wake up in Kentucky, and, yeah, I could sleep till a couple more hours. I might go sit down and have a cup of coffee.
I know.
And the hardest part is not calling Paige and bragging about it, because that's when she gets mad.
Yeah.
Well, but of course, right.
It's only fair.
Oh, yeah. Just you don't realize how much extra time you had until it is completely, occupied by kids.
100%. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
nothing better, though.
Oh, there is nothing
Yeah,
better.
For sure.
It was fun. I had a lot of fun. We had that. The first RV we had was a small one, but Jagger was little.
Yeah.
And then I took that RV in to get worked on and saw the other one there. Then I told Samantha, I said, I think I'm going to buy this other one. She said, why? I was like, fits more my style.
Yeah.
I like this one.
Whenever you retired, called JB because I was like, man, just picking his brain about that motorhome. He's like, well, it's for sale. And I was like, well, how much you want for it? He goes, honestly, Jagger rode the hide off the couch. I don't know. You might want to go find yourself a new one.
He did. Like, we had to redo the upholstery in it. He had a bareback rigging, kids bareback rigging in there, like bull rope on that couch. There was just no leather, so they had to redo the couch. I mean, they fixed it back like it was brand new, but it was in rough shape after Jagger.
I didn't realize that you all did that when you went and bought your PRCA card after the PBR.
Everywhere I went, there was only a few times, I would fly somewhere if we couldn't, drive because, like both times I got hurt, I lacerated my kidney right before the end of the year in 21 when I made the NFR. Well, we were in Ellensburg, and so they stayed with the RV in Ellensburg, and I flew to Ceremonies Rodeo in Iowa.
Madison,
Iowa. And I lacerated my kidney. Samantha woke up to a picture of me on a life flight. And I said, hey, I'm not going to make that flight back. I'm on a little different one. So then...
I don't know how Samantha handles it. I really don't. She is a saint.
Well, when I broke my neck, I jumped in with Kai and Stetson. We were in Ellensburg. They stayed with the RV in Ellensburg. I run down there to Lewiston, Idaho, was going to ride, and we were going to drive back that night. We had to go to Puyallup. And once again, I caught her. I was not making the drive back.
No, you weren't. No, but you got out of that hospital as quick as you could. I remember Samantha telling me that.
Yeah, that surgeon, we had an argument about that.
Yeah.
He wanted me to stay another night, and I told him no, I was not staying. He couldn't keep me in there. So give me my prescription, and I was leaving.
Not many smoke breaks in that place.
No. They did take me out for a smoke break, though, actually. Because I did tell them that before surgery, I was like, look, I asked them if I could walk around. They said yes, but make sure somebody's with you so you don't fall down. I was like, I'm not going to fall down. And so I'm walking around, and I was like, does that elevator go downstairs and outside? They were like, yeah, why? I was like, can I go down it? And they were like, no. You got all this stuff hooked to you, alarms will go off, they'll come chasing you down. They were like, why do you want to go outside? I said, look, I'm going to smoke a cigarette, and there's two options here. Option A, I get on that elevator and I go outside and I smoke. Or option B, I find somewhere in this hospital to hide and smoke. I said, I would rather do option A. It's more respectful, more polite, but I'm not above option B.
Here's Dawson. He's going to be on the show here in a bit. How about that?
Yeah, he rides good with Dawson Hay.
So
sticks the landing.
Yeah, he does. I feel like he sticks the landing. I mean, almost every time.
9 out of 10.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 every time.
Pretty catty, that one.
So, Richie, this is not your first appearance on the Mauney Cast. You have been on the Mauney Cast in shows past, maybe sometime last year, I feel like.
Last year, the year before.
You and Luke. And I feel like they have affectionately called a podcast something.
The Dick Cast.
Oh.
If you're going to.
Yeah.
So if you ever...
If I had a... That's right.
If you had a podcast.
If I
had a show.
Yeah, if you have a show.
The Dick Cast.
Right.
Well, Luke was going to get one because he was retiring, and then he came out of retirement, so now he doesn't get a show.
No.
So I don't know. It might just be the Mauney Cast for now.
Okay, but if you were to have a show, who would be your first guest?
You, obviously.
Really?
Because then I can go have a smoke break and you can keep the show going.
It's awesome.
Learn from the best.
Yeah. During the break, I did tell Richie that this was not my decision. This was a voluntold situation.
Sorry about your look.
She was just as shocked as I was when I saw the deal come out on social media today. I was like, co-hosted by Katie Kaufman. I was like, oh, that's probably for the best.
All I want to really do is take her notes right now away from her. She
has to have her notes.
Has to have them.
Thank you. If anyone knows anything about me, it's the notes. And
it's the notes.
I find it disrespectful that you don't appreciate my notes. It keeps the show going.
Yeah, it does keep the show going. But I have all my notes in my head.
Right? And all I've asked for this entire time is just a clipboard. That's all I need. Maybe next time.
I don't have
if there is the next time.
I feel like you can afford to get her a clipboard, JB.
Well, I was going to get her a folder so she could put them in the see-through deals.
He said
so
a
she could just
binder.
Yeah. So she could just flip through them instead of having to unclip them, clip them back.
No, that's a good point.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe in Tulsa.
You got one more try at this.
But Richie, I want to thank you for coming on the Mauney Cast.
Thanks for having me.
We enjoy you so much. I'm so glad that you had such a great ride. We'll be cheering for you tomorrow night.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, Dickman.
Thanks, JB.
Yes, sir.
Oh, JB, who do we have next?
I don't know.
Well, if you had notes, you
have
would
the
know.
notes. That's why I don't take notes, because you have notes.
I know who's coming on. I was just trying to see if you did. Jacob Lees is coming in.
There he comes. There he is.
Hey, Jacob, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Were you excited when you got the notice you were going to be on the Mauney Cast?
I was very excited. I listened to this, and I was happy to be a part of it.
So was Katie.
No, we're not. You don't want to know the answer of that, Jacob. We just got done telling Richie that I was voluntold for this.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know who drew my straw, but I don't know. This might be a one and done. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes.
Sounds like it might have been the short straw.
Yeah, I think it might have been the short straw. Hey, you've had a lot of really great success over the last couple months. You won the Hondo Rodeo in Phoenix. You also just won the San Diego Rodeo. And I guess coincidentally, they've both been in ballpark. So you got Globe Life Field on your mind?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Keep the ballpark thing rolling. I was the first champ in both those ballparks, so guess I'm the baseball guy.
Yeah, Globe Life would be a good ballpark to win in.
That would be an outstanding ballpark to win.
Yeah. That would top the other ballparks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming here to the Eastern Regionals, did you like your draw?
I didn't know it. It's a new horse, and I think he's going to be good when he grows up a little bit. But I had fun.
Fun indeed. And then, what else is next? Where are you headed after this?
I'll go down to Fort Worth.
Yeah, that's going on right now.
Yeah, I feel like Fort Worth goes on for almost a month. It feels like.
It's a lot of rounds.
Did you ride in Fort Worth?
Yeah. And 09 was the first year I went to Fort Worth. That's the first pro rodeo I ever entered.
Really?
Yep. Bought my permit, entered Fort Worth. And I went, placed in the first round, won the second round, was 14 points ahead of the second place man going into the short round, and could not make it because I was at a PBR in Florida. Wow. Same day as the short round.
Priorities.
Yeah, right. Thinking about rodeos all over the country, Fort Worth is an iconic rodeo, and there's so many others to list. If you had to name one that's at the top for you, which is the most iconic?
Shoot, probably Calgary. There's something about being up there and those big shoes, those big stands, the crowd. It's something else.
It's a cool rodeo.
I went there. I think they were celebrating their centennial. I think it was the 100th anniversary. I can't remember what year it was. I had never been there before that. I didn't know what to expect, but whatever I was expecting, it far surpassed that. It was like nothing I could have ever imagined. The amount of people in that park was unreal.
Oh, yeah. Every one of them have a flannel shirt and a straw hat on, too.
Most time it might be backwards, but they're there to party.
They're there.
Yeah, they certainly love that rodeo. Well, say luck's on your side, Jacob, and you get to Globe Life, and you have the opportunity for that $1 million. What are you doing with that money?
I don't know. I probably give a lot of it away to buy some things I probably don't need.
That's what I did. My career.
Yeah.
Yeah, who are you going to give your money to?
Oh, I like to donate a lot of it and stuff like that. I don't know.
Any unnecessary items that you know for sure you'd buy?
I would for sure be going on some hunts that I've been dreaming about going on.
Are you a hunter?
Yeah, I'm a big hunter.
Okay, what do you enjoy hunting?
Anything that moves.
JB, do you hunt?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I like shooting stuff. I mean, I don't get much time to do it because you raise bulls, you work bulls every day.
Yeah, I know.
So.
I feel like, you're working all the time. Well, Jacob, I've noticed that on a lot of your rides, whenever you're getting into the back of the chutes, we see you with AirPods a majority of the time. And I don't know if there's any other competitor who rides with AirPods. Maybe they do, but I feel like I can really see yours. So what's the story behind that?
I don't know. I kind of try to keep my mind out of it, just let my body work. So if I'm listening to something good and just letting my muscle memory take over, if I start thinking about it too much, I usually don't ride too good.
That's the same way. As long as I can keep my head out of my way, I rode pretty good.
Yeah.
But as soon as I let my mind take over, you set traps, you get to thinking too much, and it never works out.
Yeah, fuck yourself off.
Yeah.
Are there any horses that you haven't drawn in your pro rodeo career that you really want to get on?
I'd love to get on Gunfire. He'll be at the American more than likely. that's one that stands out the top of my head. I've been lucky. I've got to bid on a lot of those top horses, and it's been good for me.
Speaking of that, I feel like you and Virgil have quite a history.
Me and Virgil are, that's us.
How many times have you been on him?
Only 3 times, but 90 every time, and that's just an amazing animal. I'd get on him any day. I'd get on him for free.
How strong is he?
It's hard. He's hard to explain. A lot of people ask that, and he's like the strongest, buckinest hopper you've ever been on. And if you mess up, you're gonna eat it. I've eaten it every time at the whistle, but if you're doing everything right, he feels amazing.
So it's about like riding bulls. If you're in the right spot and you're doing things right, it feels like you're in a rocking chair. But as soon as you slip out of that rocking chair, it goes downhill real fast.
Oh yeah, every time it's like he's saying, "It's time for you to get off, son," and wham, every time.
Do you have any stories like that about any bulls you got on the most?
Yeah, Bushwhacker. But I'm not as good as he was. He's 3 for 3. I was 1 for 13.
He might have bucked a little harder than Virgil.
They put quite a few of these scars under my chin for me.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. 1 of 13.
But I did get to 1.
Yeah. Go back to that moment when you covered him or when you rode him free.
Oh, it kind of turned into a rivalry. You know, they brought him around. Julio brought him. They bucked him in the classics and stuff, and everybody was saying, "Oh, nobody can ride him." And so the first night he was in a short round, I was like, "Well, let's see what he's all about. I want him." And I think I made it to the end of the first jump, and he hit me in the face, swung me around his head. I hung to him. He stomped me. I got up, and I was kind of thinking in my head, "All right, he's for real." And it just went from there because I was always one that, you know, I'd get on one. If he bucked me off, I would always be like, "Oh, that won't happen again, you know. I'll figure him out." So the second time I got on him, he dusted me pretty good, and it just went to 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and I just kept going, and then it just pissed me off, and I was going to ride him. I told somebody, I said, one day he's going to mess up, and I'm going to make the whistle.
I'm going to be there.
Yeah, and the night I did ride him, if it had been 8.1, I wouldn't have made it. I would have been 0 on that 13th list.
Where were you when you rode him?
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
I rode him, and Kent Cox, he hauled Bushwhacker, and boy, he's the first man to jump the bucking chutes and hug me. And I got on him one night in Decatur, Texas, and the first jump out of the chute, the breaker flipped. The lights went out in the whole place, and I was on him. And so that was the joke. He would always say, "Remember when he kicked the lights out?" And I was tied to him.
That must have been something.
I bet that entire place went nuts.
Yeah, I was kind of scared shitless, to tell you the truth. Because first thing I thought was, I can't ride him in a lit up ass arena, and now I'm tied to him in the dark.
Wow.
It did not work out for me.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did it end?
He went 2 big old jumps instead of his normal 1, reared me back. He come right and drove my head to the ground about 8 inches. And somebody come by and said, "Good thing they dished that ground up. It was soft." I said, "I went through that and hit the hard shit under it, I promise."
Wow, well, with that, Jacob, we're going to get into some rapid fire questions. So be on your A game. JB, you too. Yeah, these are for you. Jacob, if you weren't a rodeo athlete, what would you be doing?
Shoot, probably something. I don't know.
JB?
I have no idea.
This is my only plan, so I'm glad it's going okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
Yeah,
this
it worked out for both of you.
Yeah, I put all my eggs in that basket.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. What's one food you absolutely refuse to eat?
Vegetables.
Liver.
If you could ride any animal that's not a horse, what would it be?
Elephant.
Giraffe.
If you could instantly master any skill, what would it be?
Bow hunting. That is so hard.
I don't know.
If you could switch lives with any celebrity for a day, who would it be?
JB Mooney.
Oh gosh. Katie Kaufman.
Okay.
I want to know what it's like to take that many notes.
I'd like to hold those notes.
Very thorough notes. Okay, thank you. If you could time travel, would you go to the past or the future?
Oh man, probably the past.
Past for sure.
Who's the funniest person you've ever traveled with on the rodeo circuit?
Oh, it's got to be Jake or Dean. Those guys are both back and forth funniest guys I know.
Did you say Jaco?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's pretty funny.
What's the most random thing you've Googled?
Random thing I've Googled. Man, that wouldn't be a rapid fire. I'd have to sit here and think about that.
Yeah, I would too.
If you could compete in any other rodeo event for one day, what are you picking?
For one day, I wanted to be a bull rider when I was young, and it just never worked out for me. I'd like to be a good bull rider.
I don't know.
JB.
Pickup man.
Oh, that's a good one.
I like picking up. It's fun.
All right, well, thought y'all did pretty good. We still got the bull riding going on. JB, what have you thought so far?
Well, Dustin had a good bull right there, and unfortunately did not make the whistle. That bull did buck.
And I think he was pleased with what he had, huh?
Yeah,
when
that
we
bull,
had him on the show.
Bull was good. You know, when you whip your free arm behind you, it rolls your shoulders and your hips out, and that's the end of the story. Bull ride's been pretty good. There's been some good bull ridings. Or, well, good bulls, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if they've rode one yet, have they? Dan?
Yeah. We've been having so much fun talking here on the Mooney Cast because we have such great notes to keep the conversation going. We've kind of lost track of the
bull riding.
Yeah, the bull riding.
It's all in the notes.
Any of the events. I saw like 4 rides all night. Yeah, they've not covered a bull yet.
Oh, man.
Have I been asking too many questions? Is this like the most structured Mooney Cast you've had?
Yeah, it's kind of ruining its reputation.
Oh, you were able to take a smoke break, and then you didn't come back on time.
Dan, we're going to have to figure out a place to go have one of these where I can just sit here and smoke. We'll have to put Katie upwind of me, though.
Yeah, thank you. I think if there was any place to do it, I think it would be Lexington, because the autograph line that has formed for you around this all-tech arena, it was like this last year on the Saturday night, and now Friday night they all have, they all realize that you're here Friday night, and it's never ending.
Yeah. So I get to look forward to signing autographs and smiling.
I know, but joking aside, it is, I say this every time that someone asks me, what you're like to be around in these settings, and it really is, it's so admirable. You sign and take pictures with every single person. Why is that important to you?
When I was younger, I don't know, when I started doing pretty good in the PBR, I traveled with an older guy, Tater Porter, and they started getting me up. I was doing interviews at 4:30 in the morning and stuff like that, and I was like, man, this is shit. They keep me out at the after parties till 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I got to be up at 4 o'clock to go do a TV interview. I was like, this I want out of this. And he said, hey, I know how to get out of it. I said, how's that? He said, stop riding so good. I was like, all right, I'm picking up what you're laying down. And after that, I never said a word about it. I just, it comes with the territory. Because he looked at me, he said, how many of the guys sitting 30th are they wanting to interview? I was like, okay, I got it.
Yeah, it's a totally valid point. And you have held up that end of the deal. In Las Vegas, when we're leaving the pre-show, Jacob, I'm sure you can imagine. I don't know how Samantha and Jagger can do it. He'll be stopped. It'll be another hour and a half before they can get to their car.
Yeah, I rode with her a few times, and she's got dinner reservations and everything, and oh yeah, she was not very happy. Full-time job.
But Elliot and I, we packed our patience. But Jacob, we want to thank you for coming on the Mooney Cast, and we hope to see you in Globe Life, and good luck down the rodeo trail until then.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Well, I think as we come close to wrapping up the show, we've got a few more guests who are coming on, which we're excited. We were just watching them there in the bronc riding.
Yep.
Lefty Holman's getting ready here, getting his ears on. Dawson Hay.
Yeah, I don't see Lefty, but I see Dawson.
Well, I see Lefty and Dawson. I got him. Yeah, here they are.
Oh,
Let's see, Brandon.
He's behind this bright light.
He is.
In
Yeah,
my eyes.
your bright lights of the Mooney Cast.
So they have not
See if
rode.
no.
Good job, Dan. Whoa. They have not covered a bull yet.
Okay, so I thought that, but I didn't want to say that in case I was wrong. So no scores?
Well, that's what Dan said. I've not seen a qualified ride yet, so I was just making sure. I know this bull. I know which one is of. What's up, Lefty?
Hey, Lefty.
Good to see you.
What's up?
Hey, Dawson.
Have we rode any bulls yet?
0.
No bulls. Should have entered.
If I could figure, we already talked about this. If I could figure that dismount out,
yeah,
I'd crack back out.
That's probably the hardest part.
Yeah, I was never very good at it.
Yeah. You're good at staying on them, though.
You know who's great at dismounts? Dawson. Richie Champion was up here. We were watching your ride. I feel like it's 99% of the time you're getting off and you're standing up on your 2 feet.
Yeah, I kind of buggered up my ankle last year, and it actually hurt more to stay on and keep whacking it on the back of my saddle. So everyone kept saying your ankle's buggered up while you're jumping off, but it actually feels better once I'm on the ground.
Lefty, I'm so disappointed you took your white boots off before coming on the show. I talk about your white boots all the time.
I'll bring them tomorrow night for you.
Okay, so
Yeah.
when do you decide to wear your red ones or your white ones?
Just depends. Depends on, how I'm feeling that day. If I'm feeling red or if I'm feeling white. It's been white recently, so I've been kind of sticking with that.
When he is riding better, he wears the white ones because he can really see his feet. So good, he wears the red ones.
This is true.
When he's feeling bloody, he wears the red ones.
Yep. Yep.
Hey, we were talking with Richie, and both of you are new dads in your own right, yourself, and you're growing families. What's it been like to be on the rodeo road and to be parents?
Yeah, it changes your perspective for sure on rodeo. You come out here and it's more of a business than just going out with the boys and hanging out. It turns into more of a business, but that's pretty good for guys like me and Dawson that probably have too much fun sometimes.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, especially in the winter run. We get to we usually.
Oh, you got double mics.
It's the Mooney Cast. We just roll with it, Dawson. But yeah.
Yeah, we do whatever we want.
I really like the winter run because the family comes down to Fort Worth, and we usually, Honey and my wife have been to most of the Texas rodeos, San Antonio and Fort Worth, so we get to spend a lot of family time during the winter. But yeah, definitely can be a little tough leaving for a couple months in the summer.
For sure. Dawson, the American, and the path to get to the American is special to you. You've had a lot of success there. And what's it like being here at the Eastern Regionals, hopefully punching your ticket to get back to Globe Life?
Yeah, it's awesome. And like the first few years that we did the qualifiers and stuff, there wasn't a lot of money to be won, and it was kind of just getting to the American. But now with these events like Lexington and Las Vegas, they have a chance to actually win a lot of money, and they're great rodeos, great horses. So the whole qualifying system's gotten a lot better over the last few years, and I'm excited just to get on in Lexington.
Lefty, how about your path to the American?
I've made the American a couple times. It's always been good to me, but haven't got the million, and that's the goal. We're in this game to make money, and thankfully for the American, you could become a millionaire in a day, which is pretty special.
If you were to become a millionaire, what are you spending your money on first?
Oh my goodness, I got
shoes, probably.
Yeah, I'd get some cool shoes. Yeah, I got a lot of ideas for business right now, so maybe invest in something like that.
You are quite the fashion icon, especially in the bronc riding, and it's no surprise your entire family are fashionistas. You have a new collaboration with Buckham Co. Talk about that, and we've been seeing some commercials that have been floating around social media.
Yeah, we're just having fun with it. It's a clothing company me and my wife started about 6 months ago, and we're just having fun with it, kind of doing our own thing, and we always say we're not married to anything except each other. We're open to new ideas and jumping into different paths, so it's been good.
For both, Dan, are you talking to me? Oh, here we go. Here it
is.
Oh.
Okay, so what was the inspiration behind this?
We were sitting around a table and just had an idea of it one night, and we made it happen the very next day.
I think we should have had both.
Yeah, so what was it, what was your idea in bringing the influencer in?
Just humor sells. I'm a funny guy. We're always joking around. We don't take much serious back there, so we figured it'd be just a funny little skit, and we got a couple more in the makes right now, so we're just having fun with it.
You, both of you are obviously come from rodeo families in your own right, and now, my gosh, all of you in California, I just feel like that family tree is growing and growing and growing, and you have a lot of icons, and I think we have a video, Dan, of your grandfather riding a bucking horse at 70.
I would love to see this. Yeah, he got on one. It was the last bronc he ever got on it for his 70th birthday, and he made a great ride. I mean, he made a good ride for a 70-year-old, and he got off on the pickup man, great, just like he used to. Walked back to me, and I said, "Good ride, Grandpa." And I thought maybe that might be the first time anybody's ever said that, so that's pretty cool. Good ride, Grandpa.
That's pretty
dang cool.
Yeah.
I got called that a lot.
It was funny. I was talking to Witch one time, and he's like, "I noticed you don't wear a vest." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't wear a vest. It's just something I don't know. I can't get comfy in there." He's like, "Yeah, me too. I tried them out for a while, and I could never get with them." I was like, "Witch, there was no vest when you were riding."
Witch, you're full of shit.
I love Witch. So.
He was a legend.
He's a legend. Always will be.
When you look to your family tree, you know, we can't help but just talk about everyone in pro rodeo that you all are somewhat related to. And Dakota Eldridge is your uncle, right, by marriage.
Yep.
And so if he had to pick his favorite nephew out of the two of you, who's Dakota going to pick?
I think for sure me.
Yeah. Lefty and Dakota like to hang out and do cold plunges and saunas together. So I got a different schedule.
Not together. He's way too big for that. Not together. No way. No, I always say everybody just wants to be a part of my family. Everyone's marrying in, but we got a pretty good crew, so we're very thankful.
You have a great crew.
Well, we're about to get it around.
Here we go.
One of the best steer wrestlers there's ever been.
Well done.
Most consistent, anyways.
Is that how you look getting off?
Yeah. That's about how I dismounted.
Yeah.
Was that our first qualified ride?
That's the only qualified ride.
Good day to be that guy.
You were never really known for having the best dismounts in your lengthy career. Definitely best bull rider in my opinion of all time, but not the best dismount.
Well, that's what I always told everybody. I said I always practice on how to stay on, not jump off.
After that, it don't matter after the buzzer goes.
Yeah.
So Samantha, she was like, people would always ask her about me riding, and she's like, "Well, I don't worry until the whistle blows."
Yeah, Clayton Sellers also married in kind of cousin, I guess, in law of ours.
Yeah,
also
married my sister.
Not the best dismounts on Sellers either.
No, I could never get my hand to come out when I wanted it to.
Clayton just likes to get stretched out and then his hand to pop out, but I've hardly ever seen him grab his rod.
That's what I love. There's lots of pictures of me reared back, strung out, and they're like, "Look at the grit this guy has." I was like, "Grit? The hell! I was hoping my hand would come out."
Did you ever ride with a helmet, JB? Ever?
Yeah, I did growing up. My parents made me wear one, and then 2011, or I don't know, I think it was 2011, maybe 12. I was riding like shit, and we went to get on some bulls, and it was more or less habit because I'd always wore one, you know, and I just didn't put it on, and I rode 4 or 5 bulls and felt the best I'd ever felt. I didn't even realize I didn't have it on.
Yeah.
And somebody said, "Man, you look good." I said, "Felt good. That's the best I felt in a long time." And they said, "You gonna quit wearing it?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah. They're like, "Your helmet." And I look up, and I just had my hat on. I was like, "Yeah, I guess." And I never put it back on.
Right. It worked out for you.
Yeah, I threw it away after that. It did hurt a lot more.
Yeah. I think it looks so much cooler, though.
Yeah.
I think it looks badass.
It was way more fun to hit the ground and be able to just reach up, grab your hat, throw that son of a gun, than throwing your helmet and about killing somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine the helmets really work all that well either after they've been thrown 200 times.
Oh, mine were all busted. I had a bull stomp me in the head somewhere, and the next day it knocked me out. The next day I show up, and I was like, "Hey, where's all my stuff?" And they were like, "Over there." And I was like, "Well, where's my helmet?" And they point over here, and it was literally in a pile. Nothing was together. Like, it was busted in two, all the padding ripped out, the mask. I was like...
I wrecked a few cages in my bull riding career as well. honestly, it was better if you had a flimsy cage.
Yeah.
Them thicker ones, if they'd fold in, it'd kind of take a little bit of the head off.
Yeah. I had them knocked off a few times. I got a picture where a bull tail whipped me, and it hung in a little deal up on the mast, and it pulled it up on my face. Well, I couldn't see. When I finished riding him, the whistle blew, and I've got the picture. I reach up and take it off while I'm riding, and I've got it in my hand in that picture, and I just threw it to the side and pulled my tail, and I said, that's the day I decided I didn't need a helmet anymore.
Yeah, I got whipped rainy rodeo in the steer ride, tail come around, that sandy, wet tail right in the eye. I'm sitting there riding like this for the next 4 or 5 seconds. It didn't quit hurting for a while, but wet ass sandy tail.
I got some questions. I'm going back to my notes. JB, are you okay with that?
I guess.
JB's never had so much structure on the Mooney Cast until he asked me to co-host.
It's horrible.
And then here we are with a lot of notes. I know. Dawson, this is going to be for you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So these are Canadian questions.
All right.
You're going to know them well. What's one Canadian stereotype that's totally true and one that's way off?
I think everyone thinks that every Canadian drinks like a gallon of maple syrup every day, but the maple syrup thing, I think Americans use just as much. One thing, stereotype that's true. That's tough.
Yeah, they don't drink a gallon of maple syrup. They drink a gallon of beer.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
They got the best whiskey in the world in Canada. I mean, that's where Pendleton, Crown, that's where it all comes from. We dang sure drink a lot more whiskey than maple syrup.
All right, if you could pick one Canadian celebrity to narrate your life in a movie, who would it be?
One Canadian celebrity to narrate my life. These are tough questions.
I know.
I'm not ready for this.
I know. Okay, go ahead.
Name a Canadian celebrity.
Ryan Reynolds?
I like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
Funny.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Reynolds.
Have you ever gotten into a heated debate about who's better, Canadian Cowboys or American Cowboys?
Every day. Every day
Just better than California Cowboys. No, I think it's really cool the amount. If you look at the actual population of Canada to the U.S., it's pretty cool the amount of Cowboys that come out of there. And, it's cold in the winter. Well, you got not a whole lot to do other than feed some cows and get on bucking horses.
Yeah. What's the best rodeo in Canada?
Calgary Stampede. It's one of my favorite rodeos of all time. Everyone's, it's a different feeling. It's kind of like getting on at the NFR. The Calgary Stampede, the energy in that place, and the horses are awesome, and it's something that everyone wants to be at when they're younger, and just to be able to ride there, if you could get on at every rodeo like the Calgary Stampede, it sure would be awesome.
I know, Lefty, you love Calgary too, right?
Calgary's badass. Yeah, it's one of the coolest rodeos we go to all year. And the people love rodeo over there. It's like, rodeo's like a football or a baseball like it is here. That's how rodeo is there. And, it's pretty cool just to see how much they love it.
Well, it's the biggest event, I think, in Canada.
Last question for you as it relates to Canada, Dawson. Who's tougher, Canadian Cowboys or Canadian hockey players?
Dude, those hockey players, ma'am, those hockey players are tough. I mean, you think like a football check, you're hitting that running speed, but when you get on skates, like you're going 25 miles an hour, it's the only sporting event that you're allowed to fight in, which is pretty cool.
Did you play? Did you play hockey as a kid?
I did. Yeah.
Did you enjoy
it? For, I think 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. My brother was always better than me. He was really, really fast, but I spent a lot more time in the penalty box. He scored a lot more goals.
You know, you called me dude a minute ago. That's totally fine. No, you don't have to apologize. I'm from California.
Yeah,
I'm just about 30 minutes up the road from Lefty. But being in California now yourself, have you turned into an orange farmer? We saw something on Instagram with you and your daughter.
Yeah, we recently bought a piece of land outside of Exeter, and I didn't think the orange crop was actually the reports didn't look. I bought it for the land, and then we ended up having. I mean, the trees did well. There's no oranges growing in Canada, so it's all new to me. I was originally thinking I was going to knock all the trees down, and put up a bunch of pens, but for now I might keep picking some oranges. I actually picked every single one of those oranges.
By hand.
No, I think I picked like 6.
I love that. That really is like the epitome of the Central Valley, isn't it, Lefty? Seeing all the citrus and the oranges. And Dan, I'm sorry, I know you're talking to me. It's so loud in here, and the line's forming for JB. I can't really hear what you're saying. Are you telling us to wrap up?
Oh, no.
Okay, all right. Well, any lasting comments here for the Mauney Cast and being a part of the team tonight?
Yeah, just good to be in Lexington. Good to be at a rodeo. There was a lot of people out here supporting us today, so there'll be twice as many tomorrow, and hopefully we get through and get ready for that millie.
Absolutely. No, it's. I think I've been to most of the qualifiers now. I think because I actually haven't been to Vegas, but this is a good crowd here in Lexington. It's probably my favorite qualifier I've ever been to.
You just wait till tomorrow night.
Yeah, wait till tomorrow. Yeah. It'll be packed.
Yeah, it'll be good. I'm glad we get to stick around and be here for tomorrow.
Yeah. Good job.
Congratulations on success tonight, and we're going to be cheering for you all tomorrow night in the championship round.
Perfect. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
Well, JB, is this where we wrap up?
This is where we wrap up. That was a decent job.
Oh, okay, so a scale of 1 to 10, what are you going to give me here?
On notes, like a -2. Performance, 8.5.
Real 8.5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll wait to see what Dan and Joe Lavero text here in just a bit, but I appreciate your honesty.
Well, Joe has been texting me.
Oh, he has?
Yeah, when you dropped your notes.
He was worried about him?
He did send a text about
I know.
it.
I live and die by these. Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciated it. Loved being your co-host, and I don't know, maybe we'll do it again.
Maybe.
Is this where you sign off, or do you want me to sign off?
We'll see you in Tulsa at the next Mooney Cast. Who knows who will co-host there?
Happy birthday, Tilton Cooper.